What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Planetary Reviews. I'm sorry I haven't been around. It's because we lost power for a while because New York got hit by a really bad storm. Small tornadoes in comparison to what they get in places actually get real big tornadoes. But they dropped down, they damaged a lot of stuff. I lost power, I lost internet for a good long time. So I had no choice but to just sit here and wait for it to come back. And unfortunately that meant I had to wait like a good few weeks until I could finally post another video. So, now that I'm back, I figured let's start with one of the newest games that has come out. This is not a review because I haven't put up enough time in the game to do a review, but I wanted to post something after so long, and I just feel like this impressions video will do this game justice at the moment, because for me, unfortunately, this game did not live up to the hype for me, and it's just really hard to just keep playing this game. But you know what? I'm going to give you guys my impressions just so you know, and just so I can finally post something. Let's talk about the game Vampyr, or Vampyr, depending on how you pronounce it. This game, I was actually really excited for. I saw this game going in, seeing trailers and everything, and I was really pumped. I was like, this looks really cool. You're a vampire, you're a doctor, which is really an intriguing idea, being a doctor who is a vampire that has to feed on people, but at the same time you want to help people. And the game's world takes place during World War I, and this plague, or just after World War I, I'm sorry, and this plague has happened and people are sick and dying, and on top of that they have to deal with these supernatural vampires and other monsters running around this part of London. And that idea is really cool, and I like that. And also, the main character you play as, other than being a doctor, he wakes up after becoming a vampire, and he ends up killing his sister right in the opening scene. And you expect that to be a really deep and emotional scene, but because the cutscenes, while they look a little nice, I do like the whole like still frame. It looks like a comic book almost they're trying to portray it as. But then when you get into the game, the graphics are just not that impressive. I understand this isn't like a super AAA studio, and they probably don't have the budget to go really far and beyond with the graphics, because this game is made by Don't Nod, and they're, for some of you guys who don't know, they're the guys who did the Life is Strange games, and I've only played a little bit of those games, but just to give you an idea who's making this, it's those guys. And the graphics, unfortunately, just are not that nice to look at. The character animations for the fighting and stuff like that don't look very nice. That was the first thing I noticed right away when I started playing the game. I went to do an attack, and then it just looked uninteresting. It didn't look nice. I was like, ooh, this is not good. And then the only other thing about the graphics that I guess is a positive is the fact that the world does look nice at certain points. Even certain areas, sometimes the textures won't look 100% great, but there are points where I do look at it where I'm like, wow, they really did work hard. They put some nice little details with like the signs and like these like propaganda things that are going around, and just the feel of the world does feel correct. There's a plague going on, everyone's suffering, and you're just one doctor with these vampiric abilities trying to figure out what exactly you have to do. But then we get also into the gameplay. The gameplay of this game, to me, is not that compelling. When I'm fighting in this game, I'm not feeling good. It feels clunky, a little floaty. Sometimes the camera will just mess around and not be too accurate, and it just didn't feel fun. The combos and the attacks you have don't flow well enough to make you feel like you're this powerful, overwhelming, just vampire that has all this power. You don't feel that. You feel like you're slightly a little bit better than some of the humans in this game, and that's not what I wanted to feel going into a game where I play as a vampire. I wanted to feel like a badass. I wanted to feel powerful. And granted, as you level up and as you play, you do unlock new abilities, but even after I was unlocking these new abilities, I really still wasn't feeling powerful, in my opinion. The combat did not get better, and that is very unfortunate. Now, the premise of this game, with like what you're supposed to be doing, this I have to give them props for. This is a cool idea where the way you level up, yes, you can do missions and you can kill other enemies around the world and you get experience. But the real way you're going to get a lot of experience is by looking through some of the civilians in this game. And the way you do it is that as you heal them and as you talk to them, as you do quests for them, there's this bar that goes up that gives you more and more experience as you help them. And then it's up to you to sit there and be like, am I going to kill him to get all that experience, or am I going to keep him alive just in case somewhere else down the line he might be important? And that is a very cool idea, having to think about who you're going to feed on and what the consequences will be for killing them. And it's a good way to make you really feel like you are a doctor, make you feel like you are a person that wants to help people, but at the same time, you're a vampire that wants to get stronger. So you're constantly sitting there measuring, am I going to kill this person? Am I not going to kill this person? That is a great idea, and I think that was really cool. It makes you think about how you're going to level up, and you can also go through this game without killing anyone. But the game's going to be a little bit more difficult, but because the combat isn't really the best and it's kind of cheat, you have like, it's not hard to cheese the opponents and like really just figure out their patterns and just kill them. But that even though the combat isn't great, that one aspect of the leveling up system is still really cool. And then I gotta talk about the skills you unlock. You do have a skill tree, and the way it works is that when you go to sleep, you have to choose all these different, like, you could do things where you increase your health, things where you increase your stamina, you could increase the amount of blood you could hold. And blood is a key part during combat, so you could just use the blood that you've consumed to power you up, heal you, do attacks, and stuff like that. That's really cool, and the amount of skills you get are pretty varied, but because the combat isn't great, you don't really feel like, oh man, I locked a new ability, I can't wait to use it, this is gonna be awesome. The combat just doesn't do the game justice enough to use some of these cooler abilities and really care about using them and stuff like that. So, as I said, that's the way you level up, and that's the way the skills work in this game. There is also a crafting system, which isn't too hard to understand. You run around the world, and as you're exploring, opening chests, opening boxes, and exploring hospitals and stuff like that, you are able to collect stuff and make new potions, new medicines to help people around your city, which is all really cool, simple, easy. And then you can also find different weapons, and you can upgrade those weapons, but you really don't feel any urge to, because in my opinion, I really didn't feel a difference because of the fact that, again, it's really the combat that really just brings everything down. It's like, hey, I found a cool weapon that's different. You go to use it in this combat, and you don't get to experience that great feeling you get when you have a new weapon because the combat is not that fun. So at the end of the day, you really don't feel any really good reason to sit there and be like, yeah, I got a new weapon. That's awesome. Because you don't really care about that. And the next thing I want to talk about is that for the majority of Vampyr, you'll have fights. But a lot of the time, you're going to be spending sitting there having conversations with people. Because the way you figure out things about others is that you have to talk to people, and as you talk to people, you unlock hints that will give you more ideas of who the person is, what they're doing, what type of person they are. And I get that, that's interesting, that's a cool way to do it, so you can really interact with these citizens and really understand the world a little bit more, and maybe not want to kill the ones that do give you a lot of experience. But when you go to have these conversations, they are just really stilted dialogue sessions where nothing's really going on. It's really boring. There's no movement. There's nothing. There's no animation for when they speak really too much. The facial animations aren't there. And sometimes just the things you're talking about just aren't that interesting. Sometimes you talk about stuff like the gossip that's going around and you just don't care. And you're doing this for so long during the game that you start to sit there and go, oh my god, I just want to do something else. And then when you do get to the combat, you don't even care about that because of the fact that the combat isn't even too great. The combat, the best way to describe it, because you have a stamina bar and you have a health bar and you can dodge and stuff like that. And it feels like it wants to be Dark Souls, but it's not. Because the way it works, it seems like when you go to like sleep, you come back, the enemies you killed, they come back. So at first I was like, oh my god, is this trying to be Dark Souls? But then it's trying to be more narrative driven. And then when I go into the combat, it just felt like a mix between a very clunky Souls game, and it just didn't feel right. And just overall, this game really didn't live up to my expectations. Overall, I think you guys should wait until this game goes on a sale personally. I put around 25-ish to 30 hours into the game, and I did not finish it. That's why this is not an official review, but I just wanted to put my thoughts out there because this game is just not compelling, guys. It's very clunky to fight. The dialogue can get very boring. There's very few positives about this game. and it just isn't what I wanted. I really wanted to feel like a badass vampire, but instead I got a mediocre RPG that doesn't look so appealing, with combat that's clunky and floaty and just not that fun to deal with cool ideas like the world that you're in and the way you have to really think about who you're going to kill for experience. That's cool, but it just unfortunately wasn't executed great. And that is the sad thing, because this could have been really awesome. I could have had a great time feeling like a badass vampire in a badass RPG, but unfortunately we just got a mediocre game, and that is really unfortunate because I was looking forward to this game a whole lot. God, it sucks that this is the outcome of Vampyr. But guys, those are my thoughts and impressions of Vampyr so far. I don't know if I'm going to do an official review because honestly I'm not having fun with this game at all. But you know what? I wanted to put my impressions out there. I wanted to put something out there because I haven't posted a video in a while. So guys, I'm going to be getting back on track. So this was my Vampyr Impressions video. My next thing I'm going to be reviewing is The Incredibles 2. Really looking forward to see that movie. I've been looking forward to that for a while. It's going to be awesome. Cannot wait. And then with the next game I'm going to be doing, I'm putting some time into the new BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle game, which is a lot of fun, so I might be posting some videos of that and hopefully a review on that as well too. And also, The Crew 2 is coming out this month, so I'm going to be talking about that and reviewing that, getting back on track. Sorry I haven't been here for a while, like I said, but it is good to be back on track, get back into the swing of things, get that ball rolling, and here we go, guys. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and have a great day.